When you're on the edge of a paradigm shift, sometimes it can look and feel messy and uncomfortable AF. I was just kind of reflecting on this because admittedly I myself, I was reminded of this because I myself right now am on the edge of another shift. So I was kind of just like reflecting back on my life, my work, my relationships, like all of it and all of the things that I've gone through to get to where I am, which is first of all, something I think that many of us don't do enough. We don't remember who the fuck we are. We don't remember everything we've overcome. And then you get into these phases where like you're on the edge of something and things start to feel really uncomfortable, contracting, and kind of like sometimes you're just like, I don't want this. But that's not actually a sign that things aren't working. It's very much a sign that they are. And I remember I used to talk about it a lot in the earlier days of my business. One of the books that I had read that had really stuck with me was The Obstacle is the Way. And just that statement, like the title, not saying that you have to go through obstacles in order to be happy, but at the same time, sometimes you give up right before you actually take the leap off the edge. And I see this happening to so many people. And recently, I personally definitely pay attention to the cosmic cycles and what's happening. And we did just have full moon and eclipse. And you may not subscribe to that, and that's fine. But the energy that's kind of in the air right now collectively, I've seen a lot of this happening. And it's been happening for a while, but like really, really strongly this week. So for myself, some things have been coming up that feel a bit uncomfortable, stretchy, things that I don't want to necessarily think about, talk about, etc., but that are necessary, because when you are changing your life, so whether this is you're wanting to pick up and move, the paradigm shift that really started this all for me 10 years ago was moving to the Caribbean. You might be, taking a leap to invest in something big. You might be changing your clientele and, nervous of how that's going to work because you're up-leveling your clients. You might be raising your prices. You might be taking a step back from something to give yourself more reprieve, more ease, more time for yourself. And the thing is you don't just get handed. If everything we wanted was just handed to us on a silver platter, everybody would have everything they want all the time. And that would be great. And I want to see a world where that actually happens. I truly do. But just because you are changing your life, just because things are changing, you're growing, expanding, doesn't mean that life gets easier. It means, in fact, oftentimes, I'm not going to say that life gets harder, but the more you make, more money, more problems. Have you ever heard that one? And I think the more we really truly remember who we are, the more we have to face the things in our life, and that's what becomes challenging. It's not that, some of these things weren't there before, but you maybe turned a blind eye to how it was, but you can't step off of the edge. You can't step into something new, a new different version of yourself, a new identity, when you're still clinging to the old one. So, that from like a financial perspective, if you're wanting more money, but yet you're always saying how you can't afford something or you can't do this or whatever, that's the signal that you're sending out. So the version of you that has more money, is she still saying that? Is she still doing that? If you're wanting to change something, to create more ease, to have things feel more effortless in your life, your business, etc., but you're unwilling to make the changes that might go along with that. That might mean changing your team. It might mean we're going to have to turn around and walk the other way because I just lost connection that direction. And that identity that got the version of you that got you here is not going to get you there. Period. Full stop. And it doesn't mean that like you need to go have plastic surgery and like change everything about yourself. It doesn't mean that you need to change who you are at your core. However, you can't create something new when you're still anchored into the old. And this is exactly why I created the, gosh, I have something in my eye. Hold on. Let's put those up there. You can't create something new when you're still stuck in the old. And that's exactly why I created the Edge, because I myself am on the edge of a new phase, the next paradigm. I'm saying goodbye to some old shit. And I always like to take people with me. So while we might be going through different things at different phases of our life or business, oftentimes the things that you have to face and go through are very much the same. In fact, doing this with me will probably save you time, money, energy, and all of that because I've gone through this before and I know what to avoid. But anyway, so I created this program because I know that sometimes it can be really confronting to go through this, and it's really easy to miss the things that are actually signals to the future, to the new paradigm. And we are going to be going through this experience together to really not just claim this new reality, but to really step past that edge, the edge that you're currently on, that you're wavering from, the things that are scaring you, because your bigness, your fullness, the things that you want in your fucking life, like, it comes not when you just come to the edge of your comfort zone, when you're just at the edge of greatness, the edge of expansion, the edge of ease. It happens when you actually do the things that are going to take you off that edge into the next phase. And that's exactly what this is going to be the catalyst and activator for. It's an 8-day free immersion, and I'm so fucking excited about it, both for myself and for you. So we start next week, and if this is resonating for you, I would love to have you come join us inside. There should be a link somewhere. If you're watching this on Facebook, it should just probably be in the comments. You can send me a message as well. If you're over on YouTube watching this, or LinkedIn, LinkedIn is probably in the comments as well. On YouTube, it will be in the description. Or in my link tree. So anyway, I will stop all of that now. And again, just remembering, you can't, what got you here, the version, the identity, the stories, the beliefs, none of it that got you here where you currently are is going to get you there, at least not in the way that it got you here, because you are not the you that got you here. You are that version of you that you're like aiming at, that you're trying to grab at and get. You're already her. You actually have to make the choice, though, to leap off that edge. So are you coming with us? If so, make sure you register. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.